Welcome to the SIAC Sit Down here on HBCU Game Day. I am Sylvester Williams. They call me Sly the Sports Guy. I am joined today by the one and only Jamie Walker, and also a very, very special guest, the commissioner, the commish of the SIAC, the one and only Dr. Holloman. How you doing, Doc?
Hey, Sly, I'm here, brother. It's a good day.
We got him here and we got him on the hot seat.
Finally, man.
Finally got him on the hot seat.
Absolutely.
Now I want to tell you something. Now Doc is the commissioner of the. Let's put this out the way. These guys definitely don't deserve. Doc is the commissioner.
Go ahead and reach you, knocking down.
Commissioner of the SIAC, but he is a proud Johnson C. Smith alum. So look what he does, man. The SIAC Sit Down, he brings us a Johnson C. Smith jersey to hang up on the set. Now this is for you, SJG. So we can put that with the conference is the Cupcake Intercollegiate
there you go with that foolishness,
Athletic
man.
Association.
Now look, we talked before, man. Give respect to the Central Intercollegiate Athletic Association.
I'm sorry.
Listen, and me and Doc talking earlier. Listen, we're from the same general neck of the woods. We're from CIAA country. You know, gotta give credence to them. Gotta give them their props. So I understand completely. So yes. Even though this is definitely the SIAC Sit Down, you know. Our history in general, we got to say good things about the CIAA.
Well, a little bit of cross promotion then. Go ahead and check out the series Brick by Brick. That's what they call it, Brick by Brick on HBCU Game Day. You can find out about Johnson C. Smith and what all they have going on up there in Charlotte, you know. Oh, whatever.
And, you know, Sly, I just, want to make sure that we uplift all of our HBCU conferences. And so, Commissioner McWilliams Parker, hey, she my ride or die.
There you go. All right. Well, glad to have you on. And we'll do something with this John C. Smith jersey. We'll figure out something with it. But we're here to talk SIAC ball. Big time week in the conference. Getting down to the nitty-gritty, commission. Getting down to the nitty-gritty. Teams jockeying for conference championship, jockeying for actual chance at the NCAA Division II playoffs. So we had a full slate this week, and we're going to jump into it. We're going to start off with the team. Last week, I was sipping the Kool-Aid.
You were.
I was sipping that Morehouse Kool-Aid, and I was drinking it like a sophisticated Morehouse guy would drink it with the pinky up, sophisticated. They let me down. Morehouse and Savannah State, Jamie.
Look, man, it just goes to show you anyone can get beat in the SIAC. It's one of those things where when you have a team that's riding high and you kind of get it and you can see the score, 24-16 Savannah State. We talked about the inconsistencies with Savannah State in general. Mm-hmm. For the last few years, either they won in the beginning, tailed off at the end, or won at the end after a subpar start. But Savannah State is still loaded, especially defensively. We're going to talk about that a little bit later.
All right. So, that was a tough one. But if you talk about loaded, Savannah State being loaded, we always talked about their problems and their woes on offense. But on defense, they always were strong. And they had a young man set a school record. Set a school record this weekend, had 5 sacks. And his name was Xavier Esquilin. I hope I'm saying that right. Xavier Esquilin, young man, set a school record, 5 sacks against Morehouse. You know why he got it, right?
Go ahead, Sly.
How he got it, man.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I got Miles Scott, quarterback for Morehouse. He went by the library, and he just found a couple of guys and said, hey, do y'all want to block? Y'all want to play a game for me? And that's who we had. We had Miles Scott and his 3 random guys he found at the library to come and block for him.
See, Sly, see. just
I don't know.
You habitual line stepper. Man.
I stepped the line again.
You stepped the line again.
Line
but you know what though? When it comes to Morehouse, great, 3-game winning streak. They even creep back up into this game after being down. You can see the final score. But at the same time, that's kind of what they do in relation to what their offense is set up to be. They're run and shoot attack. And so when you're throwing the ball that many times, you're talking about somebody, Miles Scott, that's second in the SIAC in passing. They throw the ball a lot. And when you have a defense like Savannah State that can rush the passer, obviously, then, those opportunities are going to occur.
And you talk about them, they can rush the passer. And this is one of the things we were kind of waiting on Savannah State, having such a strong defense. And always playing a tough defense, you kind of wait for that offense to pop. And that offense did step up a little bit. They stepped up, put some points on the board, and they put them on the board when they needed them most. So kudos to Savannah State.
Very much. And kudos to Morehouse as well, man.
No.
I know they went from,
I'm done.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Reconsider.
I'm done with Morehouse. I'm sorry, Edward Waters. I can't cover up Edward. I'm done with you, Morehouse.
You're not done until basketball season ends.
Hey, big time. You know I'm a Morehouse basketball guy. Now they had a scrimmage against Georgia State on Friday. Watch out, Doc. Basketball season. Watch out for Morehouse basketball. I think Coach Dixon over there got something working.
So now I will say, where Coach Dixon went to school at, right?
Where did Coach Dixon go?
Johnson C. Smith.
There we go.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Look, Betty Ford representing.
Hey, Betty Ford Road representing out there, but Morehouse basketball. Watch out for Morehouse basketball. They look good. They lost to Georgia State, but Georgia State is a team that should make a run in Division I. They should definitely make the tournament.
So you said Morehouse basically went from Kool-Aid to Flavor Aid.
They went Kool-Aid to Flavor Aid.
I know all y'all always been rich. I haven't though.
They Flavor Aid. Now, they no longer Kool-Aid. All right. So let's go to the next one. The next one, Miles went all the way up to Ohio, to Wilberforce, Ohio, and played Central State. Central State, Miles ended up coming back and winning this one. It was 28-24. Miles on top of Central State at Wilberforce, man. Shout out to the Doc. This is one of the things I really appreciate you and what you did. I want to shout out to the actual SIAC network. That game was on the SIAC network, and the film, the film crew or whatever from Central State. Now, Central State is not very good in football, but that film crew, they're doing a great job up there with the SIAC network. If you can, how do you feel about the SIAC network right now, Doc?
Sly, the SIAC network is important. And so this is, we're in our infancy. Mm-hmm. And so we're getting better each week. I'm pleased with the progress that we're making. I'm pleased that you can watch SIAC football. If it's not on ESPN or HBCU Go, it's on the SIAC network. And so we're excited, and Sly, that's going to carry over into basketball and all our other Olympic sports.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do really like what they've been doing, and a lot of the schools have been doing with that SIAC network. Now, we go and look at this game, look at some of the individual things. Jamie, you got to see Miles a lot more than I've seen Miles up close in person. What do you think about this Miles team?
It was a matter of Coach Chris Gould saying, this team is young, give us some time to gel. And what you're seeing now is not just that they're gelling, you see them actually make a concerted effort to win games. And what I mean by that is not that they didn't make that effort before, but they didn't know how to win. You're seeing them be able to come back in games. You're seeing them be able to, and even within this deficit, I think it was 21-0 before they started, winning the game or started coming back. That just goes to show you they have grown with this coaching staff, and you got to give them kudos. Brentley Van Diver, they have done a masterful job of shrinking the game plan for him to be able to go offensively and do some things. They have some players on defense. You're talking about the likes of Robert Williams and such that are able to really go out and say, let me get this team on my back and let me galvanize them defensively to be able to come back. And they just shut, Central State down. And it's a thing of beauty when you can see the coaching and the player buy-in come together at the same time. They are doing so well.
You're right. You talk about Van Diver. Van Diver, he was 16 for 32, 279 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. But one of the big players was Marquez Mobley. Marquez Mobley, he had 5 catches, 136 yards. Big performance out of that young man.
Absolutely.
This weekend.
And that entire staff, I think their wide receiving core has not been talked about enough. And, you have some really good wide receiving cores throughout the SIAC. And I think theirs is not talked about enough. Another one, Glenn Williams to match Mobley and others on that wide receiving core, really, really good. And again, you can't say enough about the coaching staff really galvanizing these players and getting them to play well.
All right, the next one, we want to stay right here in the AUC.
Okay. Tough
one. Homecoming at Clark, Atlanta. And those Tigers, the Tigers from Jacksonville, from Duval County, came up and took them out, beat them, scored 55-41. Whew.
I guess Edward Waters hit, a few more threes.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's a JV basketball game right there, man. They putting up points, man. They are putting up points. Hey, man, stuff happens.
Listen, that was a back and forth game that Clark Atlanta seemed to have in command, but after the turn of the third quarter into the fourth, man, Edward Waters was, as you see the highlights now, Clark Atlanta, was clicking on all cylinders and even playing better defensively through the first 2.5 quarters, but not quite sure what went on to just, as they say, the faucet just opened up and it just started to leak, man. And it was one of those things where Edward Waters finally discovered who they were, the team that we thought in the beginning of the year with quarterback Noah Bodden and John Terrius Thomas. They are so formidable offensively. And defensively, they can rush the passer and have really a good back four. So it's one of those things that they are still a good team. You're talking about the upper echelon of the SIAC. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't regardless of somebody's homecoming, it wasn't a matter of this team not being good. They just lost some games to some really quality opponents.
Yep, there you go. And now here's the thing, Noah Bodden this game, young man, he went 22 for 39, 368 yards, 4 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. That was devastating. But I think where Edward Waters really, really hurt him, they hurt him on the ground.
Yes.
Everybody knows about John Terrius Thomas. Everybody knows about what type of how great a back John Terrius Thomas is. Now, that young man, he had 18 carries for 91 yards. But the other guy, the complimentary guy, Brady Tillman. Tillman, 15 carries, 171 yards. I mean, that's running straight at you. That's just running over you, past you, around you.
Yes, and that just goes to show you what kind of backfield they have along with the complementary receivers and the quarterbacks as well. And I say quarterbacks multiple. When Noah Bodden gets in trouble, they're able to exchange quarterbacks as well. But talk about that for a second, man. John Terrius Thomas last week sets a record. Mm-hmm. Now you bring in Brady Tillman, who's able to break long runs as well, man. That just tells you what kind of offense they have. And I'm going to be honest with you. We talking playoff football at this point. Scary. If they're able to get in that mix as well.
You know what, man? I'm glad we got the commissioner here. We're going to hold him. We're going to hold off on him for a second. We're going to jump on him because we're going to need his knowledge in a second. Because it's a lot of teams kind of close to each other. And we're talking about jockeying for a position in the championship. So we gonna need your information in a second. But that Edward Waters game, Edward Waters Clark Atlanta, close game, score tied 41-41. They're in the fourth quarter. Edward Waters actually scores 28 points in the fourth quarter. 28 points in the fourth quarter. I know Teddy was hot over there. I know he had to be hot. He had on a nice little sweater from Anthony Lawrence. He thought he was clean.
He did.
He thought he was clean.
He did.
He thought he was clean.
In the board of health, he did.
But he had to be a little bit mad come that fourth quarter. And I think the one thing that kind of broke it open, Edward Waters scored, and they put the score up 48-41 48-41. But with that offense that Clark has, doesn't really mean much. 6 minutes to go in the game.
Yeah, never say die.
They start to drive down the field, and the young man throws an interception. Quarterback Xavier Jackson throws an interception, pick six. They take it back 40-something yards, the pick six interception. And here's the thing. If you look at the replay, if you show the replay of the pick six, the youngster, he's rolling over to the right, kind of eluded a tackle, and he kind of threw off his side, and it just, boom, just one of those things. And that's one of the things, if you're a DB, you dream about that one.
Absolutely.
You dream about that one, that pick six that kind of ruined somebody's homecoming. And that's what kind of happened to Clark Atlanta. So
yeah, I mean, they are a very formidable back four. They are opportunistic defensively in any way, but they intercept the ball. They do. That's their thing.
All right, we're going to move on along. This time we're going to go to Jackson, Tennessee. Fort Valley played Lane. Fort Valley went all the way out there close to Memphis. That's a good little trip.
It is.
That's a good little bus ride from Fort Valley.
It is.
You know a little bit about Fort Valley. How long a trip is that to Lane?
You talking about 5 to 6 hours?
That's a long trip, man. That's a long trip for them big boys in that bus. But Fort Valley went out there, and Fort Valley came out on top, scored 23-19. 23-19, Fort Valley goes out to Lane and takes care of Lane. Fort Valley, we say it. We've been saying this all year about Fort Valley. Fort Valley is the best team I've seen with a losing record. Doc, Fort Valley's defense has stifled everyone all year. They've been all over. They've been all over the place all year long, and the offense just had a little bit of a problem getting everything going. But this time, the offense kind of stepped up a little bit. They weren't as bad. Let's put it like that. They weren't as bad. Don Hudson Jr., the young freshman, he was 21 for 31, 185 yards, had a touchdown. And then you know he likes to run the ball. He picked up 30 yards running. So that kind of put Fort Valley on top. Once again, you're playing Lane.
Back and forth affair, though, man. I got to give Lane credit. Started off really well, man. Their offense had some continuity, some bounce to it, and they were able to score, kept Fort Valley at bay initially. But, again, when you're talking about a team and give Coach Watson and just that entire brain trust of Fort Valley, give them their kudos, man, regardless of what they have to do to win a ball game, whether it be through special teams, whether it be defensively. You've seen them demonstrate at least a capable offense to go up against some opponents. But they've been able to win games and eke out games or be close in games regardless of how you have to play it with an opponent. So give them kudos. They traveled up to Jackson, Tennessee, and got the W.
All right, big win for Coach Watson over there at Fort Valley, taking out Lane, and now Fort Valley's 3-5 with the chance maybe to go 500. Who knows?
We'll see.
Who knows? Stranger things have happened. All right, well, we'll move on to the next one. The next one was in Tuskegee, Alabama. The score, Allen. Allen went to Tuskegee and did something for the first time in school history. The first time in school history, Allen defeated Tuskegee, scored 28-13. I happened to call this game on ESPN.
Speak your expertise.
I was there. And now, Dr. Holloman, for a second, I want you to cover your ears. I want you to cover your ears for a second, Dr. Holloman. I was a bit upset. Not with the fact that Allen won. You see, we got the Allen helmet. You show us the wide shot. Thank you, new AD Cremati gave us the Allen helmet. So now we have the Allen helmet right there behind us. Once again, schools, we're still waiting on everybody to send all our stuff. We got a Benedict jersey over there behind Dr. Holloman. We got the stuff coming in now. We got a lot of stuff coming in. But back to Tuskegee. Tuskegee forever has been the cornerstone of the SIAC. Tuskegee is one of the proud the most proudest school in HBCU football history. The Tuskegee fans have always been supportive and on top of Tuskegee and cheered them on. It's always been a pinnacle of black college football. But Tuskegee, I was completely disappointed in you on Saturday. I looked out into those stands, and it was more Allen fans than Tuskegee fans on that side of the stadium. That was a really, really bad look for Tuskegee. Now, I know it was the Magic City Classic. A lot of people going to say, oh, it's Magic City Classic. So we was at the Magic City Classic. But if I look in a stand and I see Allen have more fans than you, that's a problem for me, Jamie.
Listen.
That's a problem.
Listen.
And nothing against Allen.
I'm going to be diplomatic for a second. Kudos to Allen.
Yeah, Allen traveled. They traveled.
Kudos. Because, there's some teams that, will not go to another opponent's stadium. And especially when it is as historic as Cleve Abbott Memorial Stadium is. Mm-hmm. Again, Sly and I have those conversations. We get text messages when we arrive at different spots and calling games. And, he expressed those points. He's been there, a few times this year, and at least called some Tuskegee games where they have turned out. So for that to happen, there's a couple of things happening at the same time. That could have been. It also could have been just the state of the team in general. So,
but here's my thing: if you're a fan, you can't be a front runner.
Yeah, it is.
You can't be a front runner when everything is good in Tuskegee. The stadium full. They got the RVs out there. People sitting on the hill.
Big Pokey them playing.
Big Pokey playing in the background. Hey, everything is all well and good. But when your team down, you got to be there for. You got to be there for your squad. I'm a Commanders fan. I'm a Commander. I'm a Charlotte Hornets fan. Hey, it's rough wherever I'm at. So, but I'm there for my team. And just to be quite honest, I was a bit
because as an announcer, you love to see the atmosphere.
I love the atmosphere. That goes along.
It makes your calls better.
Makes the
you
game.
ever called in a quiet stadium?
Well, you know what? We gonna. This is sidebar from SIAC talk. But I've been doing this for a long time.
Yes.
I called a football game that was the North South Carolina School of the Deaf and Blind versus the South Carolina School of the Deaf and Blind. No whistles. Stop laughing in the background. I hear you. This is a true story. It's no whistles, no noise. They have flashing lights in the end zone for the whistles to stop the players. That was a unique experience.
I'll never ask that question
again.
First of all, that's great.
I've been doing this a long time.
That is great. That is awesome that they had that football game. That is awesome.
And there was some real football.
Yes,
too. They were playing football.
I love it.
But anyway, the Tuskegee ain't the school of the blind. Tuskegee should have had some people out there. Well, enough about that. Let's talk about the actual game.
Yes.
The actual game, pretty good game.
Absolutely.
Fabian Duncan is that guy.
Is that guy.
Fabian Duncan is that guy, man. He gave Tuskegee everything they wanted. Now, Tuskegee, their starting quarterback, Raquan Bill, got hurt early in the season. Mm-hmm. He tore his ACL, and it was senior night too. That's why I'm so bad. It was senior night. They wasn't there to support their seniors. But anyway, Raquan Bill was out, so they're trying to find some new quarterbacks at Tuskegee, and this time they brought in a freshman quarterback. They brought in a freshman from Miami. Had a decent game. I mean, he was a freshman. He made some freshman mistakes. You're poor. Made some freshman mistakes, but he played a pretty decent game. But Fabian Duncan from Allen, that kid's a running back, man.
Yes.
That kid's a running back, and he gives it to you however you want. He had 31 carries, 114 yards, 2 touchdowns, and it was student body left, student body right, straight up the middle, and he lowering his shoulder. What Coach Pearl, what they say the P stand for?
Hey.
the P stand for power.
Yes, it does.
The P stand for power. Coach Pearl liked the running, and that's exactly what he did.
Well, he's supposed to. If you have somebody like Fabian Duncan, and don't forget about Jameer Dismukes, absolutely taking it back door when the threat of him going out of the other side is there, and you have Duncan running it enough to where defense has to account for him. Absolutely. Count Dismukes in the running game as well as the passing game.
Good bounce back game for Dismukes. Dismukes had 2 subpar games leading up to this. Allen had the week off. They had the week off to practice, get better, and Coach Pearl said, hey, we're going to get your confidence back. And I think that's what he did for Dismukes. Dismukes was 14 for 17 for 210 yards, 1 touchdown.
That's a heck of a game. Right
That's
there.
real efficient right there. And he also ran 8 carries for 71 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, it is.
So that's a great bounce back game for Dismukes. So now, boom, you got Allen goes out, and Coach Pearl, happy homecoming for Coach Pearl. Happy homecoming. It's an interesting coaching matchup. Both of those are Tuskegee grads.
They are.
Coach Pearl, in some people's opinion, he's a 3-time all-SIAC performer, Tuskegee Hall of Famer, possibly could be the best offensive lineman in the history of Tuskegee, going against Aaron James, possibly the best quarterback in Tuskegee history. So that was a little bit of a nice little coaching matchup.
Most definitely.
Nice little coaching matchup. But Allen ended up winning that one. Now we're getting close. We are getting close to our game of the week. The game of the week everybody was interested in.
It was supposed to be.
Supposed to be. Doc, you went down there.
I was there.
You was there. What can you say before we talk about the game? You're the commissioner, so you have a close relationship with all the presidents and stuff, and you get to see all the facilities and everything. What can you kind of say about Dr. Clark Artis and what they've done at Benedict when it comes to their facilities and stadium and everything?
So Benedict started football maybe 15, 20 years ago. And in that time, they've undergone a transformation. They have one of the nicest, if not the nicest, D2 stadium in the country. It's a great facility. There's not a bad seat in the house. They have entertainment area, so when you come there, they're very hospitable. Got tailgate, everything you want. Benedict has it in their football stadium. But what that has done is help them build relationships in the community.
Yes.
So they have great community support from the mayor's office, the city and county councils. And so it's always a pleasure to go to Benedict because they're going to treat you well.
There you go, man. Everybody knows I'm from Columbia, South Carolina, born and raised. I grew up, my church is 2 blocks from Benedict. So I remember the old Benedict.
Right.
I remember the old Benedict. And what Dr. Clark Artis has done over there, and the previous president, Dr. Swinton, what they've done at Benedict is nothing short of amazing. They have made it, I'm honest on this show. I don't lie. I like to be honest. At one time, Benedict wasn't your premier destination.
No.
But now there are kids, you want to go to Benedict. You want to go to Benedict through the hard work that they've done over there, Dr. Clark Artis and Dr. Swinton before her. But the hard work that they've done, the stuff that they've added to the school, they've added a few master's programs. So Benedict is a destination. It's a destination for people. I like what they got going on at Benedict.
Absolutely.
Now.
You said now.
on the football field.
Yes.
Football field.
Yeah, let's circle the wagons.
It was rough for Benedict. Albany State came down there and said, hey, we number 1 for a reason.
When I read the HBCU game day comments, I think somebody told me the other day that I was, 2 people were supposed to, I figured Benedict would be number 1 on everybody's list now. I'm like, there's a reason Albany State is who they are. When you're bringing back 20+ returners,
yes,
there's a reason why they were picked to be the number 1 team in the SIAC preseason, because they were loaded coming in, offensively, defensively, and on special teams. And they showed you that once the injured came back.
Oh, my goodness.
And Isaiah Knowles showed you who he was.
Did he come back?
Yes, he did.
Did he come back?
Yes.
22 for 37, 294 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. That's Isaiah Knowles. Was out for a month. And he came back and looked like he had missed a day. And I thought that was my big question mark going into the game. You know, last week I picked Benedict to win. I thought Benedict would win because I thought maybe Isaiah would show a little bit of rust. I thought he'd be have a little bit of rust.
Totally understandable.
But kid had no rust whatsoever. He like a Corvette don't have no rust. It's all fiberglass.
Yeah.
So he was a Corvette. No rust at all. But it's a tale of 2 quarterbacks. Isaiah Knowles, 294 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Darius Ocean, 9 for 31, 154 yards, 2 interceptions. And they were 2 interceptions that hurt. That first one, he threw that interception in the end zone. Mm-hmm. And that hurt. That hurt. So sometimes it happens that way, you know. Our 2 running backs, Tiant, Weish. I said, I had it.
You got it, man. My fault. I stepped in a little too fast.
It took me 9 weeks, but I got it.
It
took me 9 weeks. And then Algernon Thomas. Well, Weish, he was 10. He had 10 carries, 75 yards, and a touchdown. Algernon, 13 carries, 64 yards, did not score a touchdown. But what happens, that Albany State team, and kudos to Coach Quinn Gray, he called the game.
Yeah.
I guess Coach Quinn Gray calls the offensive plays. I'm not sure who calls whoever called the offensive plays know what they're doing.
Yes.
They know what they're doing. They work that Benedict defensive front. They found slices and slivers in that defensive line in order for those running backs to sneak through. And whenever they had enough room, those safeties played up a little bit. Nose connected on everything. Nose looked great throwing the ball.
Perfect call.
Man, Albany State is good.
It just goes to show you again, and I think we've talked about this on the show before when it came to really the evolution of Quinn Gray. When he first came from Memphis and took the job at Albany State, he's known as a gunslinger. A lot of former FAMU quarterbacks are, and rightfully so. And I think initially, even though they got into the championship game his first year, I think it took him adjusting to the style of the SIAC and the style of his personnel and being able to mix in that run. They have such a formidable backfield that makes Isaiah Knowles' job so much easier. It does. Because just as you talk, creeping up to the line of scrimmage to stop the run, go right over the top. Thing of beauty, man. Balanced offense.
One of the touchdown plays they called, I think it was the first touchdown, they hit the big tight end. The tight end, what ended up happening, the safeties and the cornerbacks converged on this wide receiver. The wide receiver ran a post route, and then the tight end, he slipped down the block and came off of the block and then ran a wheel route on the outside. I know I'm getting a little bit technical for you.
It's okay.
But they ran a wheel route on the outside, and he was wide open. Mm-hmm. He was so open I could have caught it. Mm-hmm. That was a great play call, whoever called it. Oh, my goodness. Benedict and that vaulted defense that they had, if you leave them on the field too long, your offense has to help you out.
Classic football, man.
Your offense, and here's the thing about Benedict. Benedict has scored every game the defense or the special teams has scored. This is the first game they haven't, and they lost. They got, did we pull out did they get taken behind the woodshed?
In the words of Chris and SJG, this will be the A.
That's a B to A?
It is.
That's a B. Oh, it is. They took them behind the woodshed. They gave them a B to A. Throw up that graphic. That's bad. That's bad. Wrong graphic. Mr. Producer, get better. Get better, Mr. Producer. But anyway, tough night for Benedict. Tough night for Benedict, but hopefully they'll rebound. Now,
still a really good team, man.
Here's the thing, and this is one of the reasons I'm glad we got you on.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad we got you on, Doc. Now, Albany State pretty much in the driver's seat, clear-cut #1 team in the conference. But then when you look at the rankings, it starts to get a little bit jumbled. Benedict is 6-1 in the conference, and Kentucky State is 5-1 in the conference. So technically, Benedict is, I guess, a half game above Albany State. But the question is now, how do the tiebreakers break down for this? Because if both of them win out, who gets to play Albany State? How does that work? How do tiebreakers work?
So, Sly, we have for head-to-head 6 determining factors.
Okay, 6.
The first one would be head-to-head.
Head-to-head?
They didn't play this year.
Nope.
So then you have winning percentage versus common opponents.
Okay.
They both lost to Albany State.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go down to head-to-head winning percentage against common opponents. That's going to probably be the same. And so you get down to the fourth tiebreaker, which will be the order of finish of common opponents. Mm-hmm. And then you have the highest regional rankings, and then you have commissioners coin flip.
Oh, my goodness.
So once we, the dust settles, it'll be probably only a 10th or 100th of a point that might separate them two, because when you look at winning percentages, it depends on who wins the games that are being played.
Mm-hmm.
So if they control what they can control, it'll be something that we'll be up Saturday night, the 8th, trying to figure out who is going to be in the championship game. So, we're excited, though, because I've been commissioner 3 years going into my 4th year. And each year we've had a team that's clearly #1. And then my first year was 3 teams tied for second. And Albany had the worst winning percentage, but they won the tiebreaker because they had head-to-head win over Fort Valley, and they didn't play Tuskegee or Miles. Last year, Fort Valley had the opportunity to win their way in if they beat Albany. Mm-hmm. They lost. Clark got in. So it always goes down to the wire, but we're excited because that's the thing that I wanted to do when I came to the SIAC. We eliminated divisional play.
Yes. Which was still brilliant.
To, put us in a position where the best teams are playing for the championship and each game matters.
Yes.
So even now that Albany is going into the last 2 weeks undefeated, they have to win at least one of these two to clinch home field advantage because they have the tiebreak over Benedict and Kentucky State. Mm-hmm. So stranger things have happened.
This is true.
So, we'll look forward to some exciting football these last 2 weeks. This weekend, I'll be at Kentucky State and Clark, Atlanta, seeing whether Kentucky State can ride that wave of momentum that they have. They've been playing some great football, had a big out-of-conference win over Northeastern 10 institution, and so that's good for the conference as a whole because we have been playing quality football out of league.
Wow, that is big. That is big. Now you mentioned something. You said Albany State will, if they win out, or will win one of two.
Right.
They will be they will have the championship game at home.
Right.
Now, when they have the championship game at home, I've heard that we brought someone in new to the conference to kind of help us out with is it a new sponsorship in the conference?
Yeah. We announced at the Basketball Media Day a partnership with Cadence Bank. They're going to be the official banking partner for the SIAC. It's a 4-year deal. And what it does for us, clearly gives us financial support. But what it does is create opportunities for our students, because we want all of our students to be prepared, to be financially literate. We want them to have opportunities for internships, co-ops, and permanent employment. And so Cadence has stepped up, and it was exciting because their chief human resource officer is a former HBCU student athlete.
Yeah.
Jarrell Moore played at South Carolina State, where he was an O-lineman. And so he spoke to our students and was really great relating his story and how his education at a HBCU played a pivotal role in him being where he's at now. And so those are the types of relationships that I'm trying to grow for the SIAC, because we know you need resources to do anything successfully.
Oh man, indeed. Shout out to Cadence Bank, man. Shout out to Cadence Bank. And here's the thing: you as a fan or a supporter of the SIAC, go and set up a bank account at Cadence. Go and set up a bank account. Go and let the banker know that the reason you're setting up your bank account is because you're a fan of the SIAC. If you set up, hey, let them know that if you support us, we're going to support you. So go ahead, check out Cadence Bank. Cadence, they have their footprint all around the SIAC.
And that was one of the reasons that it was attractive to us, because they do have locations all around SIAC institutions. We'll also, Sly, be having debit cards with our institutions on them.
Okay.
For people who want to open bank accounts, they can get Fort Valley, Morehouse, Clark Atlanta, Kentucky State debit cards. So it's a true partnership.
There you go, man. Support the people who support you. Go ahead and check out Cadence Bank. They're in a location near you. Go and look them up on the internet. Find the nearest Cadence Bank. All right. Now, we talked about the championship game. You do a lot of stuff, Doc. You do a lot of stuff now. You split. You stop the East-West. You split that up. You did something. You brought something else new to the conference. We have a partnership with another Division II conference. And this partnership, we will play a game. Our third and fourth place team will play their third and fourth place team in this year it'll be all SIAC home games.
Right.
And next year it'll be away games for the other conference. Now, Doc, tell me a little bit, what is this deal we got going on with this mystery conference?
So, Sly, Conference Carolinas is in their first year of having football. Now, the member institutions have played football in the Gulf South and independently. My main thing when I looked at where we are falling short at, we played 10 regular season games, and then our championship game only includes 2 teams. And so the last couple of years, we've had teams that have fallen out of the regional rankings because the Gulf South, the SIAC 8, play 11 games. And so that's giving them a leg up. And so when you look at all the metrics that go into getting selected for the playoffs, that was one that we fell short in. And so instead of complaining, I'm doing something about it.
There it is.
And, this will be a great opportunity for us, because I think in the first regional rankings that have come out, we have 3 teams in the top 8, and Edward Waters is not far off. So playing these games will give a team like Edward Waters. We know that Edward Waters will not be in the SIAC championship game, but we know they will host one of these games. And so if they win their remaining 2 games and they play in that game, they could get 8 D2 wins.
Wow.
If you get 8 D2 wins, you're going to have a chance because of the quality and strength of their schedule. They have a win over Virginia Union. So that's an exciting opportunity for us. I'm thankful for Chris Colvin, the commissioner of Conference Carolinas, being willing to make this kind of matchup, because, clearly I believe we are the stronger conference, but we'll have to show it on the field. And so we have several institutions that'll still be vying for another spot in that game. And so we'll look at how the remainder of the season plays out to see who will play in that other matchup. But this is exciting for the SIAC, and my goal is to put our teams in a position to win national championships. And so you have to be in, the tournament to win.
That's right.
And so if the more teams you get in, the more favorable matchups that you create, and then that gives us the experience to know what we need to do.
All right, man. I'll tell you, man, big things. These matchups could mean a lot. I don't know if there has ever been 3 SIAC, not in the playoffs. You never had 3 in the playoffs, not that I know of.
Not that I know of.
I don't think. We got a very, very good chance of having at least 3. We got a very, very good chance of having at least 3 SIAC teams in the playoffs. So this is huge. That's a huge addition to the conference, having that extra game. That's big time. That's big time. Well, we might as well go with some of these rankings, man. We might as well go with our Doc. We do our own personal poll.
Okay,
they have some poll that but that doesn't matter. The poll is the SIAC Sit Down poll. That's the poll that matters right here. So, you want to do yours or mine first?
We'll keep it as
okay.
Same continuity.
Let's go Jamie poll. Let's take a look at Jamie poll.
Now look, of course you see mine going from 13-1. Lane, still winless. You know what it is.
Spot.
The 2 surprising that hurt my heart right here. Tuskegee and Clark Atlanta. Right there. I still think they're capable teams, but they just have not been able to prove it on the field. Fort Valley, Central State moving up. You see their capabilities too, scored, but just not there yet. Morehouse, takes a step. They take a step back. Allen played really good football this past game. Miles, Savannah State, Elwood Waters, Benedict, and I put Benedict third. Their offense troubles me.
They do.
Their offense troubles me.
Worried.
From that standpoint. And then just the head-to-head matchups with Kentucky State versus Albany State and Benedict versus Albany State. Hey, go look at the game. That's all I encourage you to do. And then, of course, clear-cut number 1, Albany State.
It's pretty easy. Pretty easy for number 1.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see who I got. Mr. Producer, throw me up there.
Let's see.
I still got to work on that picture, man. I don't like that picture, bro.
Man, AI and,
I don't like that cartoon, man. But we'll start off in the basement as always. Nothing changes. Lane's still down there. Tuskegee and Clark, like you said, boy, that's our shock. We would never say that at the beginning of the year.
No, I think third? I think.
Yep. 3rd and 4th, I think. Central State at 10. Morehouse, who we're just waiting on basketball season. Ain't no basketball season start for Morehouse.
There we go.
What? That's step across the line again?
Just a little bit.
My bad.
You all right.
Fort Valley at 8, Savannah State 7, Allen at 6, Miles at 5, Edward Waters at 4. Now, Miles is the shock for me.
Stay out my head, because I was just thinking about that. At the beginning of the year when we, you get boat raced at the Hall of Fame, you start off rough. I mean, you just don't know if it just doesn't look good. And credit to Coach Chris Gould, they have done well as far as righting the ship and getting back into SIAC contention.
And they lost their starting quarterback, too.
Yes, they did.
They lost one of the only returners they had.
Yes, they did.
Because Sam Shade took everything. He took the tape out the locker room when he left. He took everything.
A couple of, dummies.
Practice dummy, took it all. But Miles is doing all right. All right. Well, we got Edward Waters at 4, Benedict at 3, Kentucky State 2, and Albany is no question. Albany's number 1. No question. Albany's number 1. So let's jump into next week's game. We're going to start off. The first one is Allen versus Morehouse.
This is going to be interesting.
No, it's not.
Yeah, yes, it is.
No, it's not.
You really?
No, it's not. I'm off the Morehouse Kool-Aid.
So you're done.
I am all the way off the boat. I am fully invested in the Morehouse basketball.
You know what? This is it's interesting because I think Morehouse still has something to prove. But I think Allen. Oh no, not with the jersey. But I think Allen will win this game. I do think Allen will win this game because I think they had to go do some soul searching themselves in the last few games. Lost a couple, dropped a couple, and didn't look good doing it. But I think this past game, winning at Tuskegee, I think right now they're riding the high, and I think they'll be fine.
Fabian Duncan
yes,
will run for 200 yards.
You said 200?
200 yards. And it's not because Morehouse has a bad defense. It's because Morehouse offense will not help out their defense at all. And they will get tired. And you know Coach Pearl likes to run the ball.
Yes.
Coach Pearl is not afraid to run the ball.
He is not.
And he going to keep on running the ball.
Until you stop him.
Mm-hmm. And then the second half, Fabian Duncan is just going to keep running them over. He will have 200 yards.
Because he keeps getting better.
He keeps
as the
getting
game
better.
goes along.
He keep getting stronger.
Yes.
He gets stronger as the game goes along. Now, Commissioner, I don't know if we put you on the spot. Can you make picks, Commissioner?
I cannot, but I expect that it'll be a very competitive game. One of the things for me is the consistency. And so it'll be interesting to see which Allen team shows up. And for Morehouse, can they eliminate turnovers?
That's it. Good call.
Good call. Good call. All right, next game, we have Savannah State going to Albany to take on, Albany or Albany?
Albany. Depending on where you're from.
Depending on where you're from.
It does.
Savannah State going to Albany to play Albany State. It won't be close.
You don't think it'll be close?
I don't think it'll be close.
I think Savannah State gives them the game for a little bit, and then I think you're right. I think Albany State eventually, pulls away. Because I think Savannah State has a defense that is competitive enough to keep it close, especially in the first half. But I think Albany State, and I say that with the nature of kids, and I say kids because of my age. Not that I'm super old, but they're kids. Yeah. So getting that, you did what you were supposed to do in Benedict in dominant fashion. Now you're coming to play maybe a lower echelon team in certain eyes, making sure that focus is there. Is I think the only thing that Albany State battles in this.
Well, I do believe Savannah State will get in front of Albany, and they will hold Albany during the coin toss. During the coin toss, Albany won't go past Savannah State during the coin. Did I step over the line?
You didn't step over the line.
That didn't go too far?
You didn't.
Okay,
you didn't.
Okay. That's going to be the only time Savannah State stops Albany is the coin toss. They won't go past them in the coin toss. It ain't going to be pretty.
Okay.
But you picking Albany State.
Of course.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll write that down. Okay, the next one, homecoming. I'm going back home. I'm actually calling this game.
Okay.
Going back home.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, go ahead.
Virginia Lynchburg. The great Virginia Lynchburg taking on Benedict College.
Hey, listen to me.
If you come on, I know you Mr. Positive.
No. I'm not going that far.
Okay.
But hey,
my bad.
Halftime score in Livingstone last week. 14-14 with Virginia with VUL.
Okay.
Not saying that'll happen again.
Okay.
Because I think Benedict is playing very, very motivated.
I think they're going to be upset. I think Benedict's going to be upset.
But don't sleep. Don't sleep.
Okay, don't sleep. The stadium will be empty after the marching band of distinction plays at halftime. Everybody will be in the parking lot enjoying libations and enjoying the rest of the cookout after halftime. They and the only reason they staying till halftime is the marching band of distinction.
This is true.
Other than that, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad.
You bring up a good point though. I don't think we talk enough. I know we football heads, but not talk enough about the good bands in the SIAC. I don't think they get enough credit.
We don't. We got the Marching Crimson Pipers, Band of Distinction.
Yes.
I forgot Clark Atlanta. Clark Atlanta's band has been in a couple of different music videos lately.
Yes. I'm gonna tell you a band. And remember the first game we ever called? Well, it was at the Cramden Bowl. Tuskegee and Central State. Central State's band.
Pretty good band.
Yes, very much so.
Pretty good band. Hey, okay. Mm-hmm. Speaking of Central State is taking a long bus ride down to Edward Waters.
Ooh.
That's a trip. That's a trip. All the way down to Edward Waters.
That just goes to show you the coverage of the SIAC. It spans.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But that's going to be Edward Waters.
Okay.
That's going to be Edward Waters. Who you think?
Yes, Edward Waters.
I don't really know what to tell you about it. I mean, it's just Central State. Hopefully nobody get hurt.
I mean, we'll see. The quarterback, Keanu Caldwell.
He had a terrible game last week. I don't know if he might have got hurt last week.
He didn't get hurt. I think.
He got yanked out the game.
Yes.
So if he didn't get hurt,
we'll see if he comes back in and kind of plays a little better. We'll see. But Edward Waters, it should be their game.
It should be. Just hopefully nobody. Central State. Hopefully no one gets hurt, so that long bus ride home won't be uncomfortable for you. We need to work on Doc, the next thing we need to get a partnership with an airline, Doc.
Well, we always try to make those trips convenient, and Central State actually flies when they come down for all the other sports, but football.
Yeah, football, you got to
That's
take
expensive.
It's 58 players on the
Yes.
travel roster. Then you got 10, 12 coaches and trainers.
And, for them, economically, they save money when they fly. Because the travel ride, when they come for other sports, it's cost prohibitive. So,
Wow.
Excellent.
I might need to hang out with the Central State people more often. Get on a plane every now and then.
Fighting Hugh Douglas.
Yeah. Hey, Hugh, send a ticket on over there. I fly Spirit Frontier. Don't bother me. Give me the big seat up front. All right, the next one, homecoming, Lane going to Tuskegee. Tuskegee get off the slide on this one. They playing Lane. Hopefully Tuskegee will have some people at homecoming.
Oh, they'll definitely have people at homecoming.
They'll have
Listen,
people at
their homecoming last year, it was, bantied about when it came to the numbers and when they came out.
I call that one.
You
talking about
Division I, Division II, all HBCU said, what?
And I wasn't a believer, Doc. I'm gonna tell you, I wasn't a believer. Last year was actually my first Tuskegee homecoming. Okay. It was the first time I got to call Tuskegee's homecoming, and they always talk about, oh yeah, we get 50,000 in there, and I'm looking at the stadium. I'm like, ain't nowhere in the world Tuskegee done ever had 50,000 people in here looking at the shed and then looking at home side, but with all those RVs and they got people sitting on the hill, Doc, they said 45, I think, last year, 40 last year, and I believed them.
Well, I had the good fortune of being the athletic director at Tuskegee, and they can get them up in there. And just like you mentioned earlier, the tradition is like no other in black college football, especially at the D2 level.
Absolutely.
And so hopefully the team will give the fans something to celebrate about. They'll perform well. I had a chance to go to the first night game.
Wow. Yes.
And they just had under 20,000 at that game. And so that was a sight to see. And, they were playing a little better then.
Yes.
But yeah, it's going to be a big crowd.
Okay.
All right. Well, speaking of you going to games, the next one, Clark Atlanta is going to Kentucky State. Clark Atlanta's going to Kentucky State. Should be an interesting game. You going to go and check that one out?
I'll be at that game, and, a word of advice for Coach Huggins and his team, I'll be prepared. Because, Coach Keaton is a wily veteran. And he'll have his team ready to play. And even though they've come up on the short end of the stick, that's the kind of trap game that, you have to avoid if you're going to be a playoff team. And so I expect it to be an interesting contest. And I know both coaches will be prepared and have good game plans. And so I'm excited about it because what I've tried to do, especially at the end of the season, is be at the games that are the most important games to the conference. Mm-hmm. And this is indeed an important game to the conference. And so I will be in Frankfort, Kentucky.
There you go. There you go. Well, Jamie, I being the host of the Coach Teddy Keaton show live on HBCU game day, man, people accuse me of being a homer. They accuse me of being a homer. They say, man, you pick Coach Keaton every week. I mean, I want a job the next week, so, but
you understand where your bread is buttered.
Yeah. But Jamie, Mama Keaton, don't get on me, Mama Keaton. Don't get on me too bad. I know I'm on your bad side, Mama Keaton, but I'm gonna have to pick against your boy this week. I'm gonna have to pick against your son this week. I think Kentucky State is on a ride right now. I think Kentucky State, Coach Huggins got that train going smooth. He got it on the right track. He lost the quarterback. His quarterback did get hurt, but his backup, Denham Johnson, is still a good quarterback. He's a scrambling quarterback. And what has Clark had problems with this year? They had problems with mobile quarterbacks. And they got a young running back, Elsie the running back. This kid is a freshman, but this kid is good. This kid is good. I'm talking, and he's powerful. He looked like, we talked about him off air before the show. He looked like one of the running backs of old, because everybody's a passing, slash multi-use running back, all that stuff now. He looks like a running back who likes to lower his shoulder and just go and run. And he going to run straight at you.
You know what? He reminds me, and Stephen J. Gaither going to like this, of Richard Huntley. Like in those molds of just thick, powerful back, squatty. He reminds you of that. But I think, both you and Dr. Holloman have analyzed this game to a T. And that is Kentucky State can't afford to rest on their laurels and think everything is sweet because Clark Atlanta's capabilities of scoring, I think they are always a formidable opponent. But I think this game plan, as much as Bardell, the former quarterback, being injured is maybe a bad thing in Kentucky State's eyes, Denham Johnson playing in this game shortens this game to a running game. He can throw the ball, but his scrambling ability and his ability to break big plays with his legs, I think gives Kentucky State the edge over Clark Atlanta.
I think so, too. I think Keaton stay on the slide.
Yep.
Luckily, they play Morehouse. Everybody's chance to get off the slide.
See, there we see.
That's step of line again. That's
step
over
the line, but
my bad. All right. Final one, and I think this might be the best game of the week. It might be the most competitive game. Miles is going to Fort Valley. They're going to take on each other, the Golden Bears. Now, Fort Valley, once again, I think they may be the best team in the nation with a losing record. All right. Miles is a team that is on the rise. They are on the rise. Those young freshmen that they have there, Coach Gould has gotten them right. But I do think Fort Valley's defense is too strong. I think Fort Valley, the way they play defense, as aggressive as they are, and you got Stevens out there on the corner, you got those two inside linebackers. Fort Valley, they're tough, they're aggressive. They throw a lot of different schemes at you, too. They throw a lot of the DBs. They're going against Van Diver, a young quarterback. They throw schemes that may look like they're playing man, but they'll drop to a zone. It may look like a cover 2, but it ends up being a cover 3. They do a lot of different things on defense at Fort Valley. And then the defense will put you in a bad situation and force you to punt, and then that's where Fort Valley's special team steps up. Fort Valley has one of the best special teams, in the conference. They've scored off of punt returns. They scored off of kickoff returns. They scored off a blocked field goal. They scored off a blocked punt. Fort Valley's defense and special teams is tough. Offense leaves a lot to be desired.
Will you see Don Hudson of the last few weeks, or will you see Don Hudson of the Clark Atlanta game?
That's
That is
the
what you see
$1 million
with Fort
question.
Valley. Now, I am calling this game. I'll make my way down to the Valley.
There you go.
This weekend, so
go.
I'll be calling that on the 4-letter. And what I'll say is this: I think everything you said about Miles from an offensive standpoint is really good. But I think in the last few weeks, besides the offensive game plan shrinking for Brentley Van Diver, defensively, they have become more opportunistic as well. They have really complemented each other as far as what the offense does, and the defense kind of complements it. So they're able to run the football, so the defense is rested. They're able to stop people. But Fort Valley, what you said about them as far as winning on all facets and all phases of the game, that's what makes this matchup so interesting, because both of these teams are incredibly young. Mm-hmm. Now, they've grown up through the season. Now we're in week 8, right. 9. So hey, it's no more of this freshman business.
Can't
use that excuse anymore. But it'll be an interesting game in that way.
Should be a good one. Well, we're getting ready. We're getting into championship season. And since we're talking about championships, there was some new developments. Man, Doc, you do a lot of stuff, Doc. You do a lot of stuff, man. There's some new developments on the championship side. We're going to still play the football championship at the home stadium, whoever has the best record. But the basketball tournament has a new location for that championship series, that championship tournament.
Yeah. Now, we're excited. Last year was the first time we played the tournament in Atlanta in almost 15 years. And we had the tournament at Morehouse. It was a great tournament. Savannah State came out of the play-in tournament to upset Miles in the first round and go on and win the championship. The Miles College women won on the women's side. So we had, a great turnout. We had a plethora of ancillary events, Game Changers Brunch, Cigars and Conversation with Cam Newton. Cam did his podcast from Clark Atlanta's campus. So we just are excited to be in this, the footprint of the conference office.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to do is create a championship feel for the entire tournament. And so we looked at venues that would give us an arena-type feel.
Yeah.
And we were very fortunate to engage the Clayton County School Board. They are in the midst of building an 8,000-seat arena in Morrow at the South Lake Mall. It will be adjoining the mall. It's going to be the Clayton County Convocation Center. And we'll be one of the first events that will be held there. And so we're bringing our tournament to Clayton County. We'll still be in the footprint of Atlanta. But what this does is give us a bigger venue, a venue that will have club seating. They have a rooftop area for other events that we might do, a green area, and boxes, 8 boxes. So, we'll be able to entertain our sponsors, give a great experience to the student athletes who get to play in this state-of-the-art arena. And so we're just excited. Clayton County School Board has been a great partner to us. They hosted us for our basketball media day in Clayton County. And so we're just excited about the partnership, and we'll be entering into a 2-year agreement. So the tournament will be there this year, 26 and 27.
All right. Well, let me ask you one more thing. I didn't think about this, but Are you still going to do the first round of the playoffs?
Yes.
And I love that idea. I know this is supposed to be football, but we talk a little bit of basketball every now and then. But what the conference does, the first round playoff game is at the higher seeded team's home. And what that does, man, you still get those kids who still on campus and quite hadn't left for spring break, I guess, yet. And now you can play that game, and you still have you having a higher record means something. You having a better record means something.
Well, one of the things that's significant for the SIAC, when I looked at the basketball tournament, the tournament was 8 days because we have 15 men's teams and 14 women's teams. So being the largest of the 4 HBCU conferences and one of the largest in D2, that puts a strain on the budgets financially.
Yeah.
And so, of course, my commitment is to create a great tournament experience. So I want the bands and the cheerleaders. And so you can't be fiscally responsible when you have an 8-day tournament. And so by creating the play-in round, you protect the top seeds, but everybody else has to earn it.
Yeah.
You win, you move on. If you don't, your season is over. And now when you come to the tournament site, it gives you a tournament feel because there's only 8 teams. It's the best 8 teams that are playing. And, you know that you have a chance to advance when you come here. So everybody that came to the tournament last year had a chance to win it. And Savannah State was a prime example.
Yep.
They beat Miles in the first game.
Shout
and
out
Miles,
to Savannah State.
I think only lost 1 game in the regular season last year. So we created, what we intended to by the new format. And then now we have an opportunity to take it to an arena. And so we're going to give our student athletes and our fans a great experience.
Yeah, I think that's awesome, man. I saw all of the drawings and the pictures and of everything they're doing down there at South Lake Mall. That area, what they're doing, a lot of times in our country or whatever, malls are kind of
it's obsolete. They're kind of
decline.
Yes.
But what Clayton County has done and the city of Morehouse has done, they're turning that area. They built like it's a little town center or something behind that where they have all type of little events and fairs, and Halloween's coming up. They have this big trunk or treat and they have concerts there. And now they're putting that convocation center there also, and that'll be the crown jewel of Clayton County School District. And they're not only are they going to have basketball games and tournaments and stuff there, they're going to have the high school graduations. Yeah. Now they will be there, and whatever concert that you can fit in there, and hopefully they could have some of the bigger tournaments and stuff come down there. So it's a huge thing in getting the SIAC as kind of basically to open the place up.
Yes.
Basically, we're going to open the place up. So that's going to be huge. And then you'll have the opportunity, like you said, those club seating and those the big money seats.
Absolutely.
You go in there and get you a nice suite, sit down and enjoy the game and enjoy the tournament. I like that. I'm going to have to, Doc, let me hold a couple dollars. Let me get one of them, Doc.
Well, listen, you can be my guest.
Okay.
I like hanging with you, Doc. I like hanging with you. There you go. But man, that is awesome. That is awesome. Well, I think we had another good week.
I think we did. We did. And looking forward to this week's games and next week as well, man, as we're wrapping up the season.
Well, here you go, man. We want to thank Dr. Holloman for joining us and just help breaking down some of the things that tiebreaker, telling us about the new partnership with Cadence Bank, also telling about the new location of the SIAC championship game. We want to thank you, Dr. Holloman, for joining us on the SIAC Sit Down. Appreciate you coming on out.
Well, Sly and Jamie, thank you guys. Thank you for the work that you do in telling our story. It's much needed.
Appreciate it.
Well, he's Jamie Walker.
I am.
I'm Sly Williams.
He is.
This is the SIAC Sit Down here on HBCU Game Day. We'll see you next week here on HBCU Game Day.